The last quarter was a turning point for production, it seems. What did you fix?
Well, we started production now about 18 months ago. And in the first 12 months, we launched 3 different products: the truck, the SUV, and then a commercial van. And the complexity of launching any product is incredibly high, but to launch 3 products in parallel with a complex supply chain, we really felt that last year. We saw it with shortages of parts, which then led to shortages in terms of what we were planning to produce. But what we saw in Q2 is really the beginnings of the supply chain now really running in a healthy way. I joke that we had a board meeting a few weeks ago, and it's the first time in a board meeting where our supply chain slide had no red on it. So supply chain is healthy, it's keeping up with production. And importantly, is not just what we saw in this quarter, but what's to come. So the continued growth in production output, which is one of the most important levers for us in terms of driving overall profitability.
Your point is that you have visibility on the supply chain, and you see that you have enough parts coming in to get the ramp you're expecting.
Well, visibility of the supply chain, and then really for us running and operating the plant as intended. So there's certainly tons of efficiency improvements that we know that we can make throughout the plant. But we're now at a point where we can be much more predictable to say we believe we're going to produce X number of vehicles this week, this day, this month. And given that the supply chain confidence is there, and given that our operational sort of experience is so much stronger, we're able to have a level of predictability to the business that in the first 12 months we really didn't have.
Some are asking, why didn't you raise guidance then? Because that plant on paper is capable of building many more than 50,000 units.
Yeah, one of the other things we've gone through is just being very much thoughtful in not wanting to overpromise. So we want to make sure that we over-deliver on our numbers, over-deliver on our targets, and knowing all the unknowns that still exist in the system. The supply chain is much healthier, but wanting to protect for just some of the unknowns that could happen.
The other big news of the last 5 days is that you're out of the United States.
Yeah.
A small number of Amazon EDVs, electric delivery vans, are being shipped to Europe, Germany in the first instance.
Yep.
Why was that a significant milestone?
Well, it's important to get those vehicles there. Amazon has a lot of business in Europe, but it also represents not just turning on production of vehicles that get shipped overseas, but all the supporting infrastructure. So we have parts distribution capabilities, we have service capabilities, and the EDV program is really a wonderful way for us to open those markets with highly predictable and planned service intervals and delivery intervals. So it's the beginnings of us opening up the European market for our products.
As you know, I always ask Twitter, what would you ask, in this case, RJ Scaringe? Lots of people want to know about the Amazon relationship. Mm-hmm. You don't break down production by product type, R1T, R1S, or EDV, but a lot of people want a sense of how many vans you're building proportionately to your consumer products. What is the main part of the business?
If you think about over the full year, we've guided to roughly 20% of our production is the commercial vans. As we think about the business going forward, the consumer side of the business will grow disproportionately relative to the commercial side, especially as we bring in our next generation products with the R2 and the R2 platform, representing a significant step up in volume and a much lower price point, much larger addressable market with that product.